What's going on, guys? It's Jonathan. Welcome to another episode of the Brogcast. I hope you guys can hear a difference in audio because I noticed in the last episode that you could really hear my computer fan. And so this time around, I decided to tweak with the control center on my interface, the Lewitt control center, and I messed with the expander. And as far as I can hear, it sounds pretty good. I don't really hear my computer fan. So that's what I was going for. I originally was kind of scared to use the expander because when I first got the interface, I used one of the presets for the expander, and it turned everything all the way up. The expander was all the way up by default, and so it caused my microphone to have zero sound. So I was like, I don't want to use the expander. So that's why in the last episode you can hear just about everything in the background when you turn it up because there was no expander. But just a few minutes ago, I used the expander, and there's actually there's different adjustments you can make to the expander. And after a few minutes of tweaking with it, I think I have it set at the right setting. So the first thing I want to talk about today is L-methylfolate. It's vitamin B9. It's also known as folate, but this particular version of it is better absorbed by the body compared to folate and folic acid. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because it's really done a great job reducing my blood pressure. So I've been taking it for about 3 months now. I started taking it because I heard about all the benefits from not only blood pressure, but mental health, neuroplasticity, brain health, and energy. Coincidentally, I had my blood pressure taken around this time at the dentist, and it was in the stage 1 high blood pressure. It wasn't like super, super, super high. It was like right at the, it was like at the lowest number that's in the blanking, the high blood pressure category. So I was like, okay, I gotta kind of do something about this. And then, around that time, I started taking methylfolate because I heard about all the benefits of it. And about a maybe month and a half after taking it, I noticed that my blood pressure went from high blood pressure 1 to elevated. I actually bought myself a blood pressure monitor because my blood pressure was high and I needed to keep an eye on it. And so, after I got that blood pressure monitor and took it, it was high. This was a few months ago when I first started taking the methylfolate. It was high. And then a month and a half later, it went from high to elevated. And I was like, okay, there's some progress. And just a couple weeks ago, I took it again, and now it's in the normal range. So I swear by this stuff. It works. I was very skeptical at first because there are a lot of supplements that people are trying to push online, and not all of them work. Most of them are probably pseudoscience, depending on where you get the information from. So I was skeptical, but it works. I take one. So I have the methylfolate gummies. Two of the gummies are 15 milligrams. That's typically the max amount of methylfolate that you're supposed to be taking. At first, I started taking just one gummy. Well, actually, so I first started taking both gummies, the maximum 15 milligrams. My body felt really weird, and it was keeping me up at night. So I went down to one gummy, and now I'm taking two gummies again. But after doing some more research, they found that it keeps you up at night if you take it too late. So I've been doing one in the morning and then one in the afternoon, and then by that point, by the time I get to bed, it wears off and I can actually sleep. So yeah, methylfolate I highly recommend if you have high blood pressure. Next is like way off topic, totally not related to this at all. It's kind of random, but I just want to talk about the bomb jalapeno quesadilla that I made today. I've never made a quesadilla before, so this was new, but I just had like this sudden urge to make one. I'm a spicy food head, So I put Mexican cheese and jalapeno in this quesadilla, folded it over, cooked it, and it was amazing. It tasted like those potato jalapeno nuggets that you get. I think they have them at Pizza Hut, and then like local restaurants will make them too. And that's kind of what it tasted like. It was very, very good, and I just wanted to share that, as random as it is. Next, I want to talk about my new favorite artists. So I'm always looking for new music. I've been kind of into the same music for quite a while, and so recently I've been looking for new music to explore and find out. Um, so my new favorite artists, I'm gonna start off with Paul Russell, and a lot of you guys probably already know who he is. He had a big hit on TikTok called Lil Boo Thing, and it used a sample of "Best of My Love" by oh dang it, I can't remember her name, but "Best of My Love." It was a funk song from the '70s. He used a sample of that, and man, that song took off, and it's so good. I'm sure a lot of you are sick of it by now because it played everywhere on the internet, and then he performed it at the New Year's Eve uh, rock New Year's Rockin' Eve. That's right. That's where he played it. So it's everywhere, and people are probably sick of it, but I'm not. I love that song. I love that song, and I also like "Say Cheese" that he just came out with. And there's also "Happy for You," and there's another song. I don't know how it's pronounced. Glossier. I don't know, but that's another song. And he also did a song with Kari, who, if you guys, for those of you who know me, know I love Kari. He did a song with Kari too, called Miss Poli Sci. That was pretty big, got pretty big as well. That's another good song that I really like. Next artist is Abby the Nomad. Once again, he's done some songs with Kari. Um, and I dig through his discography, and I found this one album. I can't remember the name of the album, but it's blue, purple, and green, mostly blue. But it's like a picture of skyscrapers. I can't remember the name of the album, but that's the album. And I love that entire album. Every song is a banger. My favorite song on that album is Top Ramen. I love it. And to describe his style, it's hard to describe, but I think it's considered alternative hip hop because I know that's what Kari's been doing recently, and he's been collaborating with Abby the Nomad quite a bit. And yeah, I think it's alternative hip hop. Next is yet another artist that Kari has worked with. His name is Marcus Precise. There's two songs that they've done together. Um, One is Chasing Time, and the other I've really, really got into recently. It's been on my repeat for as long as I've discovered it. It's called The Morning. And man, I'm like addicted to that song, man. I've been playing it on repeat for days on end. So I definitely recommend those artists. Very talented, amazing people. Next, I want to talk about the headphones that I use not only for editing and my podcasting, but just for everyday use. These are the Raycon Everyday headphones. I love them. They, for the money, I think they're $100. They are amazing headphones. They've got three different sound settings on it for when you're listening to music. There's pure sound, balanced sound, and bass sound. I dig the bass sound because I'm a bass guy. I love the sound of bass, so I have it always on bass mode. There's also another thing that these things can do that blow me away every time. It's the active noise canceling. So basically, what it does is it uses the microphone here on the headphones to sort of block out outside noise, and it works crazy good. Like about a week ago, 2015 flashbacks. Oh my goodness. Anyway, about a week ago, I was sitting on the couch listening to music, and I had my active noise canceling on, and all I hear is the music. That's it. And then I see my mom go like this, and I'm like, what is she doing? So I take my headphones off, and she was trying to tell me something, but I didn't hear her at all. I didn't hear her. I didn't hear the TV. I didn't hear anything except for the music. So these are amazing headphones for the money. I also use these for editing, and they do a pretty good job. I might upgrade to studio headphones, but for right now, they're great. I love these things. They are so awesome. Oh, and another thing I need to mention is the battery life. These things can run forever on a single charge. Um, I swear, I only have to charge them like once a week. It's bananas. I think the official battery lifespan is 48 hours, but it's crazy what these things can do. So if you're looking for a good pair of headphones for the money, I would go with the Raycon Everyday headphones. So I want to kind of go into my my drumming a little bit. A couple things that I've been doing. So as you guys could probably hear in a couple of my drum covers from the past, not like the past, but months ago, that blue snare that you see that came with my drum set, I'll be honest, kind of sounded like dog shit after, especially after I started playing it harder. And it worked okay for like, cause there's a song I did called Long. What the heck is going on with my brain? Um, the song that I covered called Long Tall Glasses. The snare in that song is very light, and so that snare worked okay because it it's it's very faint. You can hardly hear the snare. It's very muffled, and so it's suitable for that song. But if you hear, I can't remember what other covers I've done with it. There's a couple that I've done with it recently that sound like crap because the snare is very prominent in the song, and so I have to turn the kit up a little bit. And with that stock head, it sounded like garbage, man. I I think it's because, well, most of the head like on one side was dented, and so no matter how many times I would tune it, it would still sound like shit. So a couple weeks ago, I bought a new drum head for it. It's the Remo Controlled Sound Black Dot. I have that on my big snare, my black one, which I don't play with as much anymore. But my Tama Tama Metalworks snare, that I use that snare head on that one. And oh my gosh, I keep burping. I have it cranked up all the way, and it sounds excellent. So I also put that head. Something's going on, man. I keep burping. I don't know. I don't know why. Anyways, sorry. Anyways, I put that snare head on my blue snare that came with my drum kit. It's it's made of poplar and some other type of wood. But I put that on there and it completely changed the sound of the drum. It sounds amazing for that type of snare. And I was kind of skeptical because it's a snare that doesn't isn't supposed to have that big of a sound. And so I was like, is this head gonna like overpower the snare and make it sound like overly loud and shitty without having any like drum response? So I was skeptical, but once again, put it on the snare, and I've been in love with high tuning. So I just like with the other snare, the deep snare, I cranked it up all the way, and it sounds so good. It sounds great. I don't know. I think I might like it as much or if not more than my Tama snare, my deep Tama snare. It's crazy, man. So that's yeah, it's it's a great drum head, and yeah, I'm a big fan of that high tuning. I used to have my tuning on low because I used to like that. I used to like that a lot. But the issue with that is I would get less rebound from the snare, and the snare would sound kind of flat. But I don't really think about it because I thought, oh, that's just how the snare sounds. But about a year ago, I did an experiment. So I replaced the drum head that I had on the Thomas snare, which was also a controlled sound snare head. But the difference is this one wasn't the X. That's one thing I forgot to mention. The new one is a controlled sound X, so the drum head is thicker. Well, this old one, I couldn't get any rebound from it, and it just sounded off, very damp sounding. So I put the controlled sound X on that snare and just cranked up the tuning, and wow, it brought that snare to life. So yeah, if you want sort of a flatter sound from your snare, I would go with the standard the Remo controlled sound dot. But if you want a lot of rebound and a lot of response from the drum and just have a beefy sound, I would go with the controlled sound X. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was my watch. Sorry about that. If that pierced your ears, I'm very sorry. All right, y'all. That's all I have to talk about today. I will see you guys in the next episode. I'm gonna send you out with that splatitude. Yeah, that splatitude. Let's go.